Hello, hello. I am so excited to tell you about the 60-day challenge I have set up for myself. And I guess it is a challenge. I haven't really called it a challenge, but I've set myself 60 days to write my book. Now, I'm sharing this with you because you may want to do something similar. And even though I'm just kind of partway through day 2, there's no time like now to jump on board and allow the next 59 days to create space to really bring something forward that is already within you. And it needs to be something that feels so good, not something you think you should do, that you would be told be very strategic or smart to do, but something that you really want and long to do. I am on day 2 of writing this book. Now, full transparency, this book is something that I started almost 8 years ago. And I did it in a very just kind of free writing way. I did it for the whole month of November, and I had a first draft, at least what I thought was a first draft. And what it ended up being is some really great stories around a very loose table of contents that was based on a presentation that I gave at a conference. And 2 women right after the conference came straight up to me running, going, "Where's your book? Where's your book?" And I went, "Oh, well, I haven't written it yet." They're like, "Seriously? We're ready to buy it. Get on it." And another woman from the audience pulled me aside and said, "I'd like you to take you for coffee." She was actually a colleague of a friend of mine. And she goes, "You've got the speaking down, you've got the content down. The only thing you're missing is a book." And she was kind of in that industry, so she really cheered me on to do it. Now, Spiral had almost 8 years, and the book is still not done. And I've worked on it in pieces here and there. I've had stints of it, and the book has shifted and changed, just as I have over the last 8 years. And so it's actually a completely different book to what that first book was when I actually did the first draft 8 years ago in those 30 days of November. And the reason I'm sharing this with you today is because I want to inspire each of you to create space to allow something to come up. And it doesn't matter what it is, but if you want to join along with me with that and actually just kind of post your own choice and decision and how you're honoring that each day for the next 59 days, which takes us to Christmas Eve. My son's birthday is on Christmas Day, so it's Christmas Eve is really when I want to have it all done and completed. Or if you too have always wanted to write a book, or you have started and stopped, and listening to me reminds you of how important that book is, how it's still alive within you. And if you too can ask yourself the question, what do I really, really, really want to do right now at this exact moment in time? And the book is what comes up, as it did for me at 12 o'clock midnight. And I stayed up till 3 a.m. so inspired, completely dropped an entire launch that I was getting ready to do a week and a half later. I went, as much as that sounds like the smart thing to do, I'm not going to do it because what I need to do is this book. And stopped it all, called my assistant and said, "Halt, we're not doing that till sometime in the new year. This is my focus. I want to steep in my own story, steep in my own wisdom, allow it to arise for me, enjoy the beautiful creative process." And I've never really granted that to myself, except for 8 years ago, pre-kids, that beautiful month of November when I just let writing come through me. And while it was messy, and while half of it doesn't even work for what the book has become now, it's where it all began. So maybe that's what you want to do as well. So here I am, post day 2. I just had a huge walk around the lake with my dog, and I got really, really clear. I know my core message, my title, my tagline, my reader, and now I'm going to work with the beautiful key structure of my chapter outlines, which is something I didn't do last time. I had the loosest, goosiest model. So my model's there, but really loose. And this time, me as a big freedom bird, I do know that some structure really helps me appreciate my wings, and I can actually fly a lot more easily when there's structure there. So that is what I'll be working on the rest of this week. And I just want to inspire all of you. And I want to ask you, for those of you who do somehow identify, oh, there's a car. For those of you who do identify with being a good girl. Not all the time. There's times where still leaning towards pleasing, towards wanting something to be perfect before you share it, towards wanting to perform a little bit because that's actually how you've been rewarded in your past. Maybe performing means doing work that you're really good at, but doesn't actually satisfy you and your heart and your full creative ideas. If that is actually something that resonates with you, I would love for you to post in the comments below. What do you want to learn about that? What do you want to learn with how to stop pleasing or perfecting? What's your biggest challenge? Where do you find it the hardest to stay true to yourself? I'd love to know. I'll tell you more and more about my book, but that's the essence of it. And I'll drip feed it as we go along. And I can't wait for you to join my journey. And if you have a journey, you've decided to come on board with your own, then I look forward to celebrating your journey as well. Keep going.